Muses of Mythology is a spoiler-heavy podcast.
That's an understatement.
We're going to discuss not just the events of this book, but the Rhineverse as a whole, and really anything that we feel is relevant. You can find full spoiler warnings in the show notes. Do you want me to trim her claws so you can mess with her without fear?
No, that's fine. I just wasn't expecting her to come at me again. I thought we were cool.
Oh, she wants to play. You're gonna get scratched.
Oh, I've already been scratched.
Welcome to Muses of Mythology, a podcast where we explore how ancient myths become part of modern pop culture through the lens of Riordan's The King Chronicles. This is Story 116, Bess. I'm your co-host and podcasting muse, Darien Smartt. Joining me is my co-host and brother, DJ.
How's everybody doing today? I'm DJ the Muse, and I've been playing some Arc Raiders.
How's that?
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
very popular right now.
Cool. And I was going to say, hopefully it still will be when the episode comes out, but yes, it will when the episode comes out tomorrow. Don't tell them that. They don't need to know. Quick, let's muse around the garden for a minute. Hello, DJ.
What's up?
I have a lesson plan for us, as you so kindly described the way I arrange my episode notes.
Wonderful.
Actually, that made me really happy and filled me with deep joy, and I felt seen.
You make a lesson plan for the day. You make like a structured lecture to give out. I'm just stoked that it's not also cap-ended with homework. That's great.
No, I'm the one that has the homework. I then edit the damn thing. All right, so we are talking about our good buddy Bess.
That we are.
DJ,
Yep.
What do you remember about Bess from the King Chronicles?
He's a dwarf. Yes, he's specifically a dwarf.
Yes, that is. He is described as the dwarf god of dwarfs.
He is like the taxi driver that they initially hang out with, or that comes and gets them.
Yeah, limo. I think he drives a limo.
Is it a limo?
Yeah, it's a limo.
Great. And then he's just like a good uncle, and we love him.
We do love him. He is a good uncle.
He does it a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He loses his ba at one point.
Yep.
It was very scary.
That was very sad.
Hate to see it.
But it all came back around. They were able to use that information and reality to beat Apophis. Yep. So it all works. But yeah, I'm a fan of Bess. I like. We've talked about what I don't like about the Bess Taret Bastet thing, but I like Bess as a character. Yeah. All right, so let's jump right in. The first thing I want to talk about is the iconography, because with Bess, it's super interesting. Whereas most, not all, and not always, but 99 times out of 100, when you're going to see a figure depicted in ancient Egyptian art, they are going to be in profile, right? You're looking at them from the side and their arms and legs. Bess is very often depicted head on. You are looking at this guy. He's got a stout body with short legs, a large head, and an expressive face, usually with a beard, and sometimes wearing a feathered headdress.
Wonderful.
Specifically, ostrich feathers, which are a symbol of Bess. This further identifies him as a protector of order and stability, because DJ, as you may recall, the wings of the goddess Ma'at are ostrich feathers, and the feather of truth is depicted as an ostrich feather. So, all of these symbols being associated with Bess really heavily communicate what he's about from the jump. As the god's characteristics are reminiscent of an individual with dwarfism, it has been stated that Bess is a dwarf god. However, from what I can tell, this is not the case.
Okay.
James Romano, who is an Egyptologist and the former curator of the Egyptian art at the Brooklyn Museum, presented really strong evidence that the origin of the god's iconography actually came from the image of a male lion rearing up on his hind paws. Romano pointed to like the defined ribs on the gods, which is something that are visible on male lions.
Yeah, we're going to do that pose specifically.
Yeah, and very common in ancient Egyptian art of lions, as well as his wide, round ears, lion, wide, flat nose, lion, protruding tongue, apparently very common way to depict lion roaring, and just with like the feathered headdress and the beard creating the look of a mane and wrinkled face. To be very clear, Romano didn't suggest that the Bes iconography did not have similarities to proportions to individuals with dwarfism, or that those images were not intentional in the evolution of the way this deity was depicted through the art of the Egyptian kingdom. Why this may have been the case, we don't have an answer to. Any more than we have an answer to why an ostrich feather is the symbol of Maat and things like that. That information's just been lost to time, and also for this particular episode, wasn't the focus of Romero's studies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this guy spent over 15 years working on a nearly 900-page dissertation about Bes, and he was credited as the first detailed study on the topic. And his dissertation was titled "The Bes Image in Pharaonic Egypt."
Mm-hmm.
Now, DJ, anything about what the title of that jump out at you as?
I don't know what Pharaonic Egypt is.
Oh, Pharaoh. Egypt
Okay.
of the Pharaoh times. Okay, yes, fair. Not what I was looking for, but absolutely fair. No wrong questions.
Okay, give me the title again.
The Bes Image in Pharaonic Egypt.
Calling it the Bes image?
There you go. You got it. Yeah. So Romano uses the term Bes image in his text because, quote, "The general designation of Bes is an oversimplification of a number of lookalike deities. Essentially, the deity we are calling Bes was probably a bunch of different figures with overlapping functions."
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so jumping over to our boy Richard H. Wilkinson, The Complete Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt, the name Bes was a relatively late term to describe what are really a number of deities and demons of Egypt, perhaps not all originally related, though all of similar form. Perhaps 10 separate gods, Aha, Aman, Bes, Hayet, Iti, Medeft, Menu, Segeb, Sobtu, and Tetenu, share similar, if not identical, characteristics, making Bes, quote, "a complex and not always clearly understood figure."
Long sentence.
Long sentence. Well, I had to name 10 guys.
Yeah.
So, essentially, there is a Bes.
Mm-hmm.
There is a figure that was Bes. But not all of the images were of the same deity.
They weren't always Bes.
They weren't always Bes. Now, you may be thinking, but what about the whole thing with, Isis? She became an incredibly important goddess because she, subsumed a bunch of other goddesses. Is that not just what happened here, with Bes becoming the primary deity, subsuming all these others?
It didn't happen within Egypt. It happened outside of Egypt.
You got it! Specifically, it happened with 19th century Egyptologists.
Yes. 1800s, baby.
1800s British dudes. And some French dudes. So
all this shit looks the same, so they might be the same.
Yeah. So Romano actually broke this all down in the first chapter of his dissertation. So shout out to this guy who was really, really into this as a concept. He started this in the 70s.
Hey,
in 1972, a mentor of his suggested he take this interest he was writing about and turn it into a full dissertation that he published in 1989. So he worked on it for so long. And it's in the beginning, it's to his wife and his son.
Nice.
Because he's like, thank you for all your patience with me while I worked on this.
It's been 15 years.
Yeah. What I gathered is that all of these deities and demons kind of got woven together by the 1800s Egyptologists who were kind of trying to identify these ancient Egyptian figures that at the time were just all called Typhon.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Greek. That takes precedent. Now, in 1828, one G.H. Wilkinson, who is not our guy, that's not Richard H. Wilkinson, obviously, different dude, he published some writing on a partial rendering of a Ptolemaic relief at Dendera, which showed a figure that he identified as Typhon. Despite two figures being represented on the relief, and both with their hieroglyphic names on the relief, neither of them being Typhon. Now, cut to 13 years later, and this Wilkinson decides he's going to write about a, quote, Besa god, whose name is listed on that Dendera relief, though again, he fails to note that two names are present.
Yeah.
And through these writings, Wilkinson popularized, quote, the notion that the various images with common iconographic features were actually one deity, in all probability Bessa, later called Bess. And you can just, reading this, you can just picked up Romano's, like, absolute ire.
Like, this is some bullshit. But...
He also goes on to talk about how it set the study back for so long because they were all just lumping these guys together.
Just trying to figure out, like, who's who?
Yeah. So, while, yes, there is probably some gods getting, like, synchronized together and overlapping and just becoming one deity, this is also what appears to be very largely a relatively modern classification error.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps this is why there were no formal cult temples to the worship of Bess, because this widely venerated and popular protection deity was actually a bunch of different guys, all dedicated to, like, different specific spheres and subclasses of protection. But for simplicity's sake, for the sake of this episode, I'm going to take a page from our Wilkinson and follow his lead in the entry of Bess being the place where all of these concepts go into. So going forward, I will probably just say, and the god Bess, but please, dear listener, understand the complicated, not all of them, probably
nature
not.
Of Bess.
Yeah. So some scholars, such as one Donald Mackenzie in 1907, believe that the Bess deity came to Egypt from Nubia sometime during the Middle Kingdom. However, this is widely considered probably not true.
Yeah.
There have been Bess-like figures found at sites dating back to, like, pre-dynastic Egypt, so early Egypt. And Romano himself argued that the Bess image is clearly a native Egyptian creation. And I'm going to consider this gentleman the leading expert on the topic. And this Bess image has an exceedingly long history. It was stated that Bess appears in the pyramid texts, protecting the deceased king from malevolent forces. Now, I would love to have actually found the translation of the passage that's being referred to, because, like, is it Bess, or is it one of these other deities that are put in? Is it a depiction of a lioness god? Like, because in
something.
Wilkinson specifically notes, like, Bess is mentioned, albeit indirectly, as a figure in these early texts. So, again, hard to say who, but this idea of a lion-esque deity figure that had a wide sphere in protection has been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
Just to complicate matters further, there's a lot of disagreement on the meaning of Bess's name. The Nubian word Bess means cat, so some have argued that this is a reference to the god's early feline features. However, again, pretty sure this deity didn't come from somewhere else. There's also some thought that Bess has something to do with the word flame. Meanwhile, the 19th century Wilkinson, when he said Bessa, it's the word that means protect. And this is where we eventually came to have the term of Bess. And this one really captures the purpose of Bess, or again, more specifically, the figures depicted by the Bess images. So, I'm not going to list, like, every little thing Bess protected against, because, like, that, essentially, when you had,
Where
like...
did the dwarf stuff come from?
That's a great question, DJ.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I went through my Wilkinson book, and I'm like, it's mentioned, like, the features that we would, like, recognize as having elements of, like, dwarfism in there, but also jackal-headed god is a thing that we just see, and falcon-headed god, and we understand those are, like, symbolic representations.
Thoth's name is Idris-like, or Ibis-like.
Yeah, he who's of the Ibis.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, we understand those are symbolic, so what's going on here? And then I would go to other places that would mention it, and so that's actually how I did this deep dive into what's the deal with Bess's look. And that's how I found Romano's work and the lion thing and the Bess images and, like, this deep dive into this dissertation, which, no, I didn't read the whole thing, but I did read the first chapter and skimmed through every mention of lion to really figure out what are you talking about and trying to, like, get to some conclusions and stuff like that. But really, like, and the thing he mentioned is, like, yeah, we don't know. And as far as I can tell, we don't know. Like, Riordan claims it has to do with the Egyptians. The Egyptians understood unique individuals had innate magic's kind of what he has best claim. But I could not find that corroborated in any of these other sources about Bess and his iconography and what he represents. And that connection to individuals with this kind of dwarfism. Like, I couldn't.
It's ridiculous, dude. Where'd it come from? What the hell, Rick? Again?
So it could be
Water goddess Rick again?
It could be, again, Riordan wrote these a while ago, like
2009, 2010, I think is when the first one came out.
Yeah, so 15 years ago, roughly. So maybe at that point in time, that was the comment. 15 years is a long time. Like, if a big discovery is found... Was it in
the dissertation? Because the dissertation came out in the 80s.
Yeah, the dissertation actually makes a point to note that we don't know why these specific physical characteristics came to be associated with the Bess images. His big thing is you can identify that they definitely evolved from a lion and all those pieces together, and how he became more anthropomorphic from that, and whether or not it is, we don't. And again, this was outside of Romano's field of study, so that's why it wasn't something he focused on. He was more focusing on like tracking specifically these images and not necessarily the
who or what.
Yeah, right. Because also there's so little evidence of the who or what or why. We just here's thing. And we have thing, but we don't typically have a lot of explanation as to thing why. And it kind of feels like maybe Rick Riordan had also learned or wanted to touch on that thing that happened in St. Petersburg.
What happened in St. Petersburg?
Oh, in the he talks about where Tara has to go rescue Bess. Yeah. And maybe that was like an element of history he wanted to incorporate in and had an interest in, and then wanted to, like, if we have Bess talk, because and I don't have all the resources to every scholar thing in the world. I'm very limited in what I have access to, but I was shocked I was able to find an upload of the dissertation. Like, that was incredible. But yeah, even that didn't really, so it's, again, I'm not saying no, Bess is not meant to have features associated with dwarfism. That's just a coincidence because we don't know.
Yeah, we have no definitive proof.
But I could not find any credible sources that thoroughly connected the look of Bess to any specific, like, understanding or recognition, or that's not the word I want. The word, it's like not influence, connection, symbolic nature. I don't know. I guess cultural belief regarding individuals with dwarfism.
Yeah.
Like, I could not find that in why this god looks the way he does.
Yeah.
And it could be, again, because he's a hodgepodge of deities and demons and just different things that look bizarre and inhuman and lion-esque and things like that all kind of got, over time, the images together, but also our understanding of this deity all got squashed together in a less than organic manner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did really want to bring you, this is why. And as far as I can tell, it feels
it's nothing.
Maybe Rick Riordan making a swing.
Another
which
one.
We always want him to make a swing.
Sometimes they're not so good.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be correct to have him say, no, he doesn't look like this, because again, he does.
He does.
But the lion thing, I don't know how you fold that into it, but just to outright, I don't know. The Bess's physical look is something that Rick Riordan reflected on a great deal in his story, and the element of Russian history he wanted to, like, mention. And that's not an accident.
No,
but I'm not sure if it's necessarily grounded in
reality,
accurate or authentic representation of what this figure represented.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the Bess image stuff, this dissertation came out in 1989. So that was available to
Rick.
To Rick. So we like the idea of best. Do we want to like talk about it's a bunch of different figures that way? Or again, I don't know. And we've spent a lot of time this season critiquing the way this author wrote this particular series. It's just come up more and more. And again, it's just hard.
more than the other series. Like any other series, I'd say, even Heroes, you know?
Yeah, it's just, and again, Egypt is hard because like the first 2 episodes of this season.
So is Norse, right?
So is Norse because there's so little. I guess that's the other thing.
And one of the only thing we had to gripe on it was like the Freya of it all.
Freya was crazy. Yeah. The other thing about Norse is there's so little of it, so there is a lot of room to fill in the blanks. Whereas in Egypt, I don't know what that inflection was. In Egyptian lore and mythology and stuff, we don't have a lot because it's so old and lost, and it is kind of complicated to track. Like, the best images are complicated when it's all been folded in and stuff, but...
Yeah, it's like Norse would be truly like a puddle of everything that we have of it. We don't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. And it's only as deep as like the 2 Eddas that we have.
Literally, the Eddas
Egyptian, it seems to be, mile wide, an inch deep. Because there's just so much of the surface that we got.
Yes.
But all of like the cultural relevance to it all is just...
Yeah. And sometimes you're walking through this like mile wide, inch deep puddle, and all of a sudden it goes like up to your knee. Yeah. Yes, and you're just like, what the hell? Whoa, we know a lot about this one, don't we? And it's like, that's how we get Isis, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and I'll be honest, there was way more on Best than I thought there was going to be. But a lot of it's like, yes, general protection deity and elements like that. So
everything we've already talked about with every other deity.
Kind of, yeah. But Best does have like, big one with Bess is snakes. Protected against snakes, because he was perhaps actually this demon Aha, who was represented as strangling serpents with his bare hands.
Nice.
Bess is also said to, protect against the abstract malicious spirits, right? He was strongly associated with the protection of children, pregnant women, and those actively giving birth. That's why he's depicted alongside the hippo goddess Taret a lot. Like, that's actually where that comes from. Yeah.
At least a Best figure.
Yes, a Best figure was, exactly that. You got it. Wilkinson, our Richard Aikes, not the 19th century Egyptologist, states that the images of Bess, where you see him with like a large belly or breasts, are meant to signify his role as a maternal protector. Like, these images you would recognize as being, someone who's super pregnant looks like this, or just gave birth to a child looks like this. That's why Bess looks like this. Like, sure, man. But again, we don't know. One thing I learned that I didn't know, I found this delightful. Images of Bess would often appear on vases, jars, and even baby bottles to like ward off any evil that may try to corrupt what's in the container.
Oh, cute.
Because listen, sometimes the milk goes bad. We don't know why it goes bad sometimes. We don't know about microbes yet. The microscope hasn't been invented yet. You can't...
Germ theory? What's that?
Listen, the Egyptians could do brain surgery and stuff. We can't blame them for not knowing about the microbes making the milk bad. It was a malevolent spirit, and if we slap Bess on the label, it'll be fine. But it wasn't all hard work for Bess. He was also associated with music and dance.
Fun.
Yeah. His favorite instrument was the tambourine. Because
right.
Loud and rhythmic. Like I said, most images of Bess are depicted as like head on, usually to show him ready to like jump and attack something. Not typically the viewer, but whatever like malevolent force or evil may wish you harm. When he's shown with a musical instrument, often again the tambourine, he would be shown from the side in order to depict movement.
Fun.
Yeah. And I was like, what an interesting art, because dance.
Yeah.
I also found it noted that dancers and musicians would often get tattoos of Bess. And while we do have lots of evidence of tattooing in ancient Egypt, because, hey, mummies really preserve skin super well. Like, that's the thing I didn't realize. They
had that shit on lock.
Yeah, so, like, we do have a ton of evidence of various types of tattoo art.
Other body modifications, I assume, too.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize that, but that's super interesting. I could not find an example of a mummy with a Bess tattoo.
Sad.
However, I could find art that depicts a person with a Bess tattoo.
Would it be a tattoo, or were they just like painted it on for their performance?
Unclear. I think the general conclusion, it is likely a tattoo because we know that Egyptian people would get tattoos of their deities. So there is a wine bowl with a female lute player on it. And this bowl is from circa like 1400 to 1300 BC. And you can see the god Bes like on her thigh.
Yeah.
And this is presented as, it's like due to the fact that this is a musician and honoring Bes. But it also could be due to the fact that she's a woman. And maybe she has given birth or will give birth in the future. And the Bes tattoo is meant to provide protection during the act of childbirth. In addition to tattoos and figurines and jars, Bes would often appear on wall art throughout the homes of ancient Egypt, making him quite literally a household god.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I got. Again, Bes is a pretty short one, but I did find the 19th century Egyptologists just kind of making statements a fascinating angle.
That's really funny, honestly.
So I guess, like, to be clear, Bes did exist as a deity.
Yep, there was a Bes deity.
There was a Bes deity. There was also, like, 9 other guys doing similar things and having similar looks that they all got kind of whooped together.
Yeah.
And so which ones are Bes? You would have to probably check the hieroglyphs. And the idea of a Bes image may be a more accurate way to describe it. But also, it is not inaccurate to say that Bes was a protector deity associated with the protection of children and pregnant women, and he liked to party.
Yeah.
And he was very popular. And all those things are pretty good to me.
Nice.
And we don't know any. I don't need to say anything about the dwarfism again. I've said it enough.
We just don't know.
And that's Bes. DJ, is Bes in Smite?
No.
Damn it! I was really banking on Bes being in Smite.
No. I've never heard of Bes before these books.
Yeah, Bes was in a comic series that I don't give attention to anymore. So that was the one thing I had to bring. But also, DJ, you have not watched this show, and I actually don't think I did, but I'm a little surprised I didn't. But maybe you've come across it on the internet, right? Are you familiar with the animated series from 1997, Mummies Alive! Exclamation point.
No.
So
only mummy TV show I watched was Kid Tut.
Yeah, Kid Tuttenstein.
Tuttenstein
Came a little bit after. Yeah, it's about this Egyptian prince gets murdered by this evil sorcerer who wants to be immortal. And I don't know why it doesn't work, but then the prince is reincarnated as this 12-year-old who lives in San Francisco. And the prince's protectors rise from the grave as mummies to continue to protect him. And they can call upon Egyptian gods and get like cool Power Rangers type armor. It was really, I only had 1 season and 42 episodes, but various Egyptian gods appeared in it, all as antagonists. It looked like,
That's funny.
Like not on purpose. Some of them were working for the evil Egyptian pharaoh. I don't know if they wanted to. I didn't get too deep into this, right? And I was really racking my brain. Like, did I see this show? Like, did it air on syndication in for Fox Kids or something like that? And I don't think it did. I don't think I've ever seen this show.
He's actually in a game. I don't play it anymore. I used to play it a bit.
It's
called The Realm of the Mad God. It's like a little
I saw that on the list.
Yeah. And he looks he looks just like a pixel art Egypt boss.
Yeah, he looks like a golem to me.
Yeah.
In Mummies Alive, Bes appears in 2 episodes. He is like a trickster god in both, who just wants to pull pranks and cause problems. And also, he likes to decide what he's going to do by flipping a coin.
Okay.
Yeah, weird. Here's what it looks like.
All right, Two-Face.
Right?
A little strange there, buddy, but all right.
Yeah, unclear why that is a thing. And yeah, also Bastet appears in it. And she's like literally the patron god of one of the mummies. Like, obviously the only girl mummy. And she comes back and is mad that humans don't worship her anymore. So she's gonna kill the kid who's the reincarnation
but
of
they do. Look at how they treat cats.
I know, right? And I was like, what? And she like takes
That's
over.
not the solution of the episode, this kid's show?
No, it's not, and it really should be. No, they try. She tries to kill the kid, and they have to get their mummy friend to snap out of her. She's like being. I don't know. It really bummed me out when I realized, like, wait, all of the gods are like antagonists.
You hate to see it.
Why? Because I don't know. I didn't watch this show. Designs are fine. But yeah, Mummy's alive. And honestly, I was kind of surprised. I wouldn't have thought Bess, because he's not in the Mummy movies.
Bess seems to have been used in like many of things that we just never interacted with outside of Kane Chronicles and the one you don't want to talk about.
Yes. It doesn't get any airtime on our podcast anymore. I saw that list too. And again, it was like nothing that was like, and I only mentioned Mummies Alive because I literally went on a wiki deep dive into like, what was Mummies Alive?
What the hell is this all
like
about?
that one fascinated me. So I
only
did
brought up Realm of the Mad God because I used to play
it. Right, yeah. We try not to mention ones that we can't really speak to. And while I never watched Mummies Alive, I was fascinated enough to dive down a Wikipedia page for it for a while and
sounds
follow
crazy.
the character. Yeah, not crazy enough to have stuck around for more than one season.
No, but 42 episodes.
Yeah, it was the 90s.
Yeah.
The last episode seemed to be like a clip show, and you hate to see it.
You really do.
So that is Bess. For the next episode, since Taret's been brought up on the last few episodes, I would love to talk about Taret in the next episode, if you may.
Yeah, should we watch Moon Knight in that time?
Oh, fuck, we would need to watch Moon Knight first. You know what? Yes. All right, so if we're able to watch Moon Knight, then Taret's the next episode. And if we're not able to watch Moon Knight, Sobek. Is Sobek not in Moon Knight? The crocodile god?
Sobek might be in Moon Knight, but he's in like other things that I've interacted with. So
yeah.
Taret's the only place I know where she's at is in Moon Knight.
I mean, yeah, we definitely
spoilers. I guess she's not in Smite. Whoa.
Ah, damn, yeah.
I hate to see it.
We'll do Moon Knight, and also that'll free us up to finally be able to do Khonshu and get Standby Line back on. So we need to start planning for that. Okay, cool. Well, hey, I know these episodes have been a little shorter. Honestly, this is kind of what I had expected this season to be, is like shorter episodes. And this first chunk ended up just being like a lot of meatier stuff.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at.
I think we're about to start hitting more of the shorter stuff.
Thank you all. Hey, it's the last episode of the year.
That it is.
Like, if you're listening to it the day this comes out, to the day after we recorded it, it means tomorrow is Christmas. And if you celebrate, Merry Christmas.
Tomorrow's Christmas Eve.
Oh, it is. Right. Sorry. We're doing family stuff that day, so my brain has just fully smushed that.
Yeah, it's
well, happy Musemas.
Happy Musemas. We have Musemas. We have the 12 days of Musemas happening right now over on our actual Patreon.
Yes.
Last episode we posted free to everybody. You guys saw that here on the main feed. That was wonderful. We love to see it.
I was ranking all of our other Christmas Carol adaptations we've ever talked about.
There is one more free episode that is on our Patreon. If you just follow us, you can pick up that. And then after that, if you decide to pay us $5 a month, simply $5.
Donate $5 a month to support the show.
Yep. We have a ton of bonus content, just in general. As much bonus content as there is main feed content.
Over 100 episodes on the bonus feed.
More so because we also have the full Muse Myth.
Right.
All of it.
All
of it's available. That's 48 episodes. It's ridiculous.
I have found the worst adaptation of A Christmas Carol by
rough.
far, full stop.
It was not good.
I think that episode came out today, perhaps, or yesterday. But if you want, you can check it out. As we wind out the year, if you've enjoyed your time with us and you want to say, hey, thanks for keeping me company on commutes or while doing dishes or walking the dog, throw in a little donation on Patreon, even if it's just for this month so you can get the Musemas stuff. That's A-okay with us.
It's totally fine.
Alternatively, you can keep listening. You can tell your friends about it. You can rate and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Let other people know that our show is worth their time if they're considering us. It's mythology, Percy Jackson. It's a big space and there's lots of different shows and we're all offering different things. So if you think ours is worth your time, and you're listening to me right now, it'd be awesome if to close out the year, you can tell other people that, hey, we're a good show. Thank you all so much for joining us here in 2025, which was our 5th year of doing the show. We're 5 years old. We didn't do anything to acknowledge it. It was in October. But hey, if you've been here from the beginning, wow, that's crazy. Thank you so much. We'll be back in your ears in the new year on Tuesday, January 6th of 2026 to talk about Taret, maybe. But until next time, don't be like Zeus.
Don't be like Zeus.
Muses of Mythology is created and hosted by Darien and DJ Smartt. It's edited by Darien Smartt. The show is produced by Darien and DJ Smartt, as well as
Tim O'Connor,
The Crystal Con Man,
Nicholas Miller, Jeffrey Babbitt.
Our music is Athens Festival by Martin Hain.
And our cover is by Ran Kapoka. You can find them on Instagram or through the link in our show notes. Want more Muses of Mythology? Support the show on Patreon. Join the Patreon for free for access to outtakes and bloopers from our main feed episodes. Or for $5 a month, you can enjoy our Bunker 9 bonus episodes every other week. Get more at patreon.com/Muses of Mythology.
You can also support the show by leaving a review at lovethepodcast.com/Muses of Mythology. Or tell a friend why you love the show.
Don't forget to check out all of our episodes and episode transcripts at musesofmythology.com.
Thanks for listening.